Yo, YouTube. We do it all straight from the garage. It's been a while, but we back with another one. And I got a 2015 Nissan Altima. Just doing a brake job on it. Figured if any of you guys want to DIY it, show you how to do it. So first thing you got to do is take this tire off. It's a 21 millimeter, and then if you have a lock, you need to make sure you have your lock so you can take that off. So I'm gonna take this tire off and I'll be back. All right, so we got our tire off, and as you can see, we have our wheel assembly here. These are your brakes. Because I have both tires in the air, I can pretty much just turn this myself, but I'm gonna need both hands. But if you want to do it, make sure when you get the tire off, you turn your wheel all the way to the side that exposes the caliper. So let me turn that. Let me see if I can, there we go. All right. So as you can see, if you got both wheels in the air, you can pretty much turn it by hand. Let me get some light on here so we can get a better view. All right. So here we have our brake caliper. You got a 14 mil here and a 14 mil here. Now, you can just take this bottom one out and flip the caliper up, but if you do that, you're not going to be able to grease the pins. In any vehicle I do, I always grease the pins. So I'm going to take the caliper off fully. It's going to be a 14 up top and a 14 right here. I'll be right back. All right, so we got our caliper off. As you can see, here's the piston. We're going to retract that in a second. But here's the brakes. And I want to show you something with these brakes because they have a tab on them, and you got to make sure that you get this tab in the correct position when you put them back on. So as you take the brakes off, be aware of a tab. Let me see. Okay, this one didn't have them on there, but on the driver's side there was a tab at the top. Let me look at the new brake and maybe it'll show the tab I'm referring to. Yeah. All right, so this is a new brake, and this tab right here, you got to be aware of this tab when you take them off. I'll figure out if it goes top or bottom here in a second, but let me take this rear one out and we'll go from there. Okay, so this side didn't have them at all. So I'm just gonna mimic the other side. The other side, on the outer one, the tab was up top. No, excuse me, the tab was on the bottom, and inner one, the tab was on top. But we'll get to that when we put the brakes in. This brake hardware, we're gonna replace that too. So you just go ahead and press that back in and pull that off. Simple. Lay it off to the side. All right, we got those off. Now, I was telling you about greasing the brake pins. These right here, these are what your brakes slide in and out on, and they need to be greased. So all you got to do is just pull it straight out like that. I'm gonna clean it, dip it in the grease, and put it back in. So, hold on, let me see if I can set up this camera so I can show y'all what I'm doing. All right. So we just got our tab here, our slide, excuse me. Just go ahead and clean it off. It's not dirty. You don't want to oversaturate these with grease. So all I do, stick it in the grease, wipe it down, stick it in. That simple. But that simple procedure is going to save you down the road if you have to do this again. And you can use some brake clean or something like that if you want to, just to help you out. But you know, you don't want to. It don't have to be clean enough to eat off the plate, but you just want to get it clean enough so you can get some grease on there. And all you're gonna do, slide it back in. Done. All right, now for these calipers. I got this tool here. It's actually, I was a little skeptical when I got it, but it actually works pretty good. So you're just gonna, let me face the camera. You're just gonna screw it down until it gets to the size you need. Oh, before you start this job, I forgot to tell you, before you start this job, make sure you take the reservoir off the master cylinder because you don't want that back pressure getting up in there. So we're gonna use our tool here, and it can, and it's like a wrench, a ratchet. So it ratchets back and forth, and you just get it to where it tightens up. And once it tightens up, you can see it. You can kind of see it pushing the caliper in. Move my hand. It's pushing the piston in as you ratchet it. Now, if you don't have this tool, you can use a C-clamp, or there's a screwdriver method where before you take the caliper off, you stick a screwdriver in here and press the brake back. I don't like to use that unless I'm replacing the rotors also. That's just me. Everybody has their own way of doing things. So I just find this relaxing and simple. So once you get to that point, flip directions, and take it out. And now as you can see, we got our piston nice and smooth. Alright, so now that we got that done, we can go ahead and replace our brake hardware. And just the way it came out, you want to get it in the hole, and the two tabs on the back, if you pull them forward, it'll slide right up in there. Nice and easy. You see how it kind of slides in. With that right there, you just pull it back and push it down. All right. Now, all we want to do with these, a little bit of grease, that's too much. Just grease inside. And you don't have to put a whole lot. This is just for the brakes to be able to slide smoothly. Just want to grease that down a little bit. Like I said, it don't have to be a horrible amount. And now we're putting these brakes in. So as you see in the brakes, they actually say right and left. So this one will go on the back side if I'm mirroring the other side. And this one will go up here. Now I'm gonna show you how to do this front one, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do the back one. So all you wanna do, if you see, okay, this inner tab right here, the inner one, the small one, is gonna go on top of this. All right, so inner tab on top. All right, and then you press down. I'm sorry, I'm trying to do this with one hand. I apologize for the camera work. Inner tab in. Press down until you get the top in. All right, hold on, I'm gonna get it set and I'll be right back. So you can see we got the top slid in, and you can see how the bottom is supposed to be set up. So you got your inner tab that's right here on top, and it kind of crushes down on this piece, and then the other piece, it just kind of sits in the bottom right there, like that. All right, so top piece, inner tab on top of this piece that comes, I'll show you here. Inner tab is going to go on top of this piece right here. And then the outer tab is going to sit on top of this piece. All right, so let me get that back brake in, and then I'll be back. Oh, I got grease on my hands now, so. All right, well, I guess we're going to do this together since the camera is acting up. It's kind of hard to do in one hand, but actually, let me just take my glove off. I might be able to shut this off for a second. So we got our brakes in, back side with the tabs, front side with the tabs. Now, if you're doing this yourself, you want to go ahead and buy some brake grease. And what that's going to do is it's going to lubricate the brakes so you don't have a lot of noise. These are ceramics, but it's going to put a little bit on the back, a little bit on the front to alleviate brake noise. And I've got mine right here. This is what I use. I just bought a whole bottle because I do a lot of brake jobs. So, but if you just buy it for one-time use, they sell these little packets. So And you can also use these on the slides. Like I said, this is what I do. So I'm gonna get a little bit. All right, and then we should be able to go ahead and slide our caliper back on. Now, based on what we did before, we're pushing the piston in. It should go right on. So you may have to adjust these two slides that you go on. So we'll stick it on there, slide in at the top, slide in at the bottom, and then we can put our two 14mm bolts back in. And if you got to do the other side, head to the other side. If not, put your tire back on and roll with it. When you do get in the car after you do this, go ahead and pump the brake up a couple times. It's probably gonna go to the floor. That's fine. You give it a couple pumps, it'll come right back up, as long as you don't have any other issues. I'm sure somebody in the comments will say you're supposed to torque these to the manufacturer specification, and you should. I don't know what that is, but I've been doing this long enough, I kind of know how to tighten them and where they need to be at. So you can look online. I'm pretty sure there's a chart or something that has the manufacturer specs. Me, I like to get it tight. Once it's tight, then I go a quarter turn past tight, and that's pretty much, from doing this the amount of times I've done it, that's pretty much how it works out. So I get it tight, I go quarter turn past tight, or actually between a quarter and a half, and then that's it. So hopefully this helps somebody down the road. I'm doing the rear brakes. I do that in a separate video. We do it all straight from the garage. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for all the love, the likes, and tell your friends about us. Peace.